Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show, coming to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for about an hour. It's episode 800, so we've been doing this show for a while. I guess I posted this on Instagram. Is it? I guess I'm gonna go look because I can't remember them all. But if you take 800 episodes and you do it every weeknight, we're talking about 1,000 hours of shows. If we did it for an hour, a little bit over an hour each night. 200 weeks, 40 months, and then a little over, going on 4 years almost. So that's a heck of a lot of shows. And we talk about guns. That's what we do. So the show's evolved a little bit over 800 episodes and all that, those increments. But right now it's a panel discussion. People from gunchannels.com join us, and we talk about firearms. On Mondays, we talk about the creating content, the behind the scenes, how to use cameras and platforms and networking and fundraising to create Second Amendment or gun-related content. We talk about the Second Amendment on Tuesdays, or on 2A Tuesdays. We talk about entertainment and fun stuff like that on Wednesdays. Thursdays, we tend to talk about training and CCW topics, and on Fridays, we talk about industry and tech. But since it's episode 800, we're probably going to talk about that a little bit. We've also been checking out the main newsfeed over on gunchannels.com. And Gun Channels is a community that we built about 6 years ago. And it's a bunch of people that enjoy the same kind of things we focus on the show, creating content, talking about Second Amendment issues, being activists, making people aware, trying to move the playing field, move the window, so that firearms become more commonplace in our society again, like they used to be. And we're assuming less under attack by political people. So we host the show over on Gun Channels. We invite the people in, and we have a conversation. Everything we do online is an effort in new media, so we're hoping people use the internet and interact with the text chats that are out there. People pay a lot of money every month so that Gun Channels exists. Really the only big tool on Gun Channels is the text chat, the ability for us all to communicate with each other off of the platforms that hate our guns and hate the laws that we appreciate, and typically make it difficult to communicate instead of enhancing it. So we are watching the text chat over on Gun Channels. We appreciate the people that use it there, and we're watching the text chat on that other platform as well. We've got people joining us on the panel from all over the country. Thanks for joining. We got Clover jumping in from Texas.
Hey, happy 800. Good to be here.
You bet. Thanks. And Dead Horse from Utah.
Howdy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. Ghost jumping in from Arkansas.
Happy 800. Thanks for having me.
What do you give for 800? What's the 800 gift? I feel like none of y'all got a gift. It's kind of rude, but whatever. I don't know if it's ammunition, but it could be lead or it could be brass. Gizzard, thanks for jumping in from Kansas.
Happy 800, and thanks for the invite.
And then Patriot is joining us from Michigan.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I'm excited.
Oh, hold your horses there. I'm not get that excited. It's just an 800 episodes, no big deal. A lot of shows get to 800 episodes, right? A lot of times people sit down and talk about guns for like 3 years every single night. So it's no big deal. But we will chat about that a little bit. I'm down in Arizona, so we've got the bases covered. We've got some other links out there to people that are regulars on the show. And I'm going to let these guys talk for a bit because I forgot something out in the van, and I might take the dog out to go pee since I forgot to do that before the show also. These guys were rushing me. So I don't know. What are you guys going to do when you have your 800th show on your respective channels?
I'll probably be in a retirement home when that happens, so.
Yes, our 6 foot under. One of the two.
I just did the 24th foul territory, so I think we got a little bit to go.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
haven't started one yet.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to buy my mansion and my Ferrari, retire on my 800 show money.
Yeah, if you're only going once a week, I mean that's tough. What is that? That's a lot of years, and I can't even do the math on that. How many years is that? But a bunch.
We just about 8 years. Yeah.
About 16 years.
16 years, yeah. 52, yeah, 52 a year times,
Oh yeah.
16 years. So yeah,
Be 76.
be,
Yeah, that'll happen.
we'll be doing the 800th show through like holograms or something.
Hell, there's a good chance that I'll actually be a real ghost by then.
Right?
I'm just saying. 800 shows. I mean, just think about that. I mean, talk about the dedication to talk about guns every night for 800 episodes. That's dedication, man.
Yeah, and the I don't want to say the diversity because there's I don't think the panel has seen just a whole lot of diversity, but the diversity of characters anyway, on the panels over the years has just been awesome.
And plus, a lot of them weren't just limited to an hour. I mean, you had some marathon shows as well.
Yeah, I've been on a couple 3 or 4 hour ones before. Those were fun.
And one thing that I kick myself for not doing, and I should, in moving forward, I probably should do this, but one thing I kick myself is those that you end the show and you're like, wow, that was an awesome DGS. I should have put it in a playlist right then.
Because it's hard to go back and try to find it now.
It's that way. You've got an archive, right, of like all of the really good daily gun shows. Not that, I mean, there's some bad ones sprinkled in there, and most of them are okay, but every now and then you just get some amazing shows through DGS.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that you want to talk about, the diversity of the panel. Just think of over the last several years, 4 years, I think he's been doing this, all the people that have come and gone in the chat and all the people that he has brought to the live show genre because of Daily Gun Show. And there's been a lot of people that come and go, and everyone that knows DGS knows what to expect every night. And it's one of those things where, for me, I know some people may not like it, but I love the late night time slot because it's a great way for me to kind of end the day. And it's awesome.
Right. Until it is one of those epic things and it gets you wound up and then you can't sleep. And that's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
But then you just carry over into the early watch show when that was on.
Right.
Because when I started watching, it was I have the end caps on both ends of the day, and that's how I started until I actually started doing stuff.
That's how Jimmy and that's how Jimmy and I felt like he was waking everybody up, and then we were talking to him at night.
Yeah, it's just one of those. We were talking when you were gone about the different people that have been on the panels throughout the years, and the different people that have been in the chats throughout the years, and the one thing that's been consistent is they knew that for an hour every night they have a gun show to listen to or watch, whatever. So that's kind of an awesome thing, G.
Yeah, imagine if it was good all that time and like useful instead of just being there. Would have been pretty neat.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, I know that you've kind of gone back and forth throughout the years of different time slots, but for me, this time slot is the best one for me because this is how I end my day every time. I usually go to bed about midnight, and so I listen to DGS. If I'm not on, I'm listening to it at night, and so for me, it's a great way to end the day.
There's got to be night crew. There used to be night crew on gun channels, just on YouTube in general. So we'll eventually get people that are on night shifts or something that this is their noon, or this is their 3 in the afternoon or something.
Right.
Anyhow, so thanks for 1-800 gun show. Interesting, like that. I'm not even thinking about making an 800 number. Dang, now I feel bad. Wasted that little puppy picture on it. All right, well, so we're going to chat about Friday, or stuff that's happened on gun channels this week. I've been wanting to do for Fridays for a while. So I might take and jam tech and industry into Thursday because I care about that, and drop training and CCW to the curb because I know it was only Dano's topic ever anyway, and he never even shows up. So I think I might do that. And then we'll take Fridays and look backwards on this main page of Gun Channels. So that's what I'm looking at here, gunchannels.com. It's a community. It's nothing fancy. I'm not trying to take over the internet or nothing. We're just trying to place a bunch of code on the internet that allows gun people to get together and have conversations, so that we all master the tools and the techniques. Clover, while I'm jumping backwards, it's going to take a little while. I'm only on Thursday here. Why don't you talk about, maybe, if you want, talk about this whole bridge concept you've been spreading?
Yeah, I can do that. I put a couple posts out on Instagrams and the Facebooks and even on the YouTube on the community tab and LinkedIn and places like that. And talking about Indy coming up specifically, it gives us an opportunity to do some things. And as a lot of people out there are aware with the Thursday chats and all the nerdiness that I get into, I don't, I branch out with this whole social media thing with creators from other niches that do other things. Some of them could potentially even be anti-gun. We don't get into that really, because we talk about the nerd stuff, keep it on the level. But yeah, I deal with a lot of different creators, and in a lot of those, I don't want to say classes or trainings, but I don't know, maybe like conferences or something like that. I don't know what the word is. It's late, but in that, a lot of things come up, and one thing that I've noticed is a huge increase in collaborations. And a lot of people see a collaboration and they go, well, that's one channel or brand working with another channel and brand, and it's not necessarily that way. For example, with the Fire Friday podcast that I do, I have guests on, but it's more of an interview setting, right? It's more of a one-sided thing. And that's not a collaboration. A collaboration is, equal effort from either side on on the same topic. Typically it's, just one topic, and, so it's equal footing, right? Whereas an interview is one person asking the questions, the other person answering them typically. So you kind of get double the perspective, double the value, right, from a collaboration. Anyway, point being, I see an increase across a whole lot of niches in collaborations. And while I see the interview style stuff and some things like that with our community, with the firearm community, I don't seem to see the drive or the passion or the whatever for our community in trying to get those collaborations. And I think we're missing a big opportunity, and beating around the bush. It's a long way here. I'm obviously killing time for G-Webs. But where I'm going with this is a thought that I've had for a long time. And we talk about, there's been shows out there, there's been Instagram posts, there's been Facebook posts about the firearm community and the divisions in the firearm community and the rifts and the tears and all of this. And, we're divided and we're tearing each other apart. And I'm not altogether convinced that that's a bad thing. And the reason for that is simple. It's individualism. We're all individuals. We all have our own way of thinking, our thoughts, our beliefs. We're not, as much as we may love the Second Amendment, we can't live our lives and be a part of this nation by being a one issue person, right? So, okay, Second Amendment may rank first for a lot of people. That's great, but you've got second, third, fourth, and fifth, and at some point we're going to disagree, and we can even disagree on the Second Amendment, and that's going to cause that rift. But there's power in the individuals, and I think that's a great thing. And I think if we were all a big collective, we healed those wounds, and we were all one big collective, I think life would suck. And I think the Second Amendment honestly would suffer, because you've got people that are not thinking. They're not able to bring counterpoints to a conversation, which kind of keeps us on our toes and that sort of thing. So in that sense, those divisions are needed, and they should be welcomed. But you know what I think the remedy is, rather than healing those divisions, is we've got our cliques, we've got those divisions, and those divisions, of course, come in the form of cliques mainly, where that's a gun channels clique, and we even have cliques within gun channels. We have the lobby folks, we have the produce show folks, we have the smaller channels, we have the bigger channels, and then you branch out of that, and you've got I won't talk about other cliques per se. But if you're out there listening and in the chats and whatever, who I'm talking about, that have their little cliques and do their roundtables and their panels and have the same guests on all the time and so forth and so on. It's natural. But I think the remedy is there's a lot of people out there, and I've been feeling this way for a long time, that I don't really fit in. I mean, it's weird. I kind of have this feeling that I don't fit in anywhere, but yet I fit in everywhere, which is weird. And I was that way in high school. I've sort of been that way all my life. I can kind of hang out and get along and have fun with pretty much any crowd I'm with. Thankfully, I don't run with any crowds that break the law and cause trouble in that sense. But it got me to thinking that the people that can do that, and there's a lot of people, and I've pointed this out over the last few months to some of those specific people, and I pointed to them and go, you know what? I see you as a bridge. I see you as a bridge builder, because you can get along. You can work with these different cliques, these different, and bridge these divisions, right? And if we're able to utilize those people, those, what I'm going to refer to as the bridge builders, then maybe we can start getting some cohesiveness amongst the community to better rally people. And I think that's a far better approach for us to take than trying to, we all take joy in the big channels that seemingly do nothing for the Second Amendment. We all take joy in calling people like that out. And part of the reason we do that is we see the potential influence that they've got and the people that they can reach. But what if we don't need them? What if by bridging all of these gaps, we can create such a network that we have that much influence? And it doesn't take a whole lot, I don't think, to do that. But I believe it sort of starts with some collaborations, right? And then everybody in those niches doesn't have to get along. I mean, if you're a bridge builder and you get along with everybody in that niche, that's fine. Or that little, what was I saying? Clique, I guess, not niche. In that clique, then that's great. And if you get along with two, then that's great. And then somebody in the next one moves along and so forth and so on. And you begin to build this network, I think, of influence that could be really beneficial to us. So that's kind of my thought on the whole bridge theory that I've been working on for a while. And that's why I've thrown it out there and suggested that using NRA and using some of this other stuff coming up, even if you only get together with a channel you've never heard of, maybe you meet them for the first time at NRA, get off to the side in the media room, on the floor, something like that, and just do a little quick collab. It can be 5 minutes, and just talk about the best 1911 that's there at the show, or the best Glock that's there. The Glocks are all the same. Why am I saying that? Or why 9mm sucks, or whatever. The topic can be whatever. The point is that you're bringing, you're networking. You're bringing those people together by actually doing something, right? Budget Guns and Gear out there is saying that I'm trying to promote collusion. Absolutely. Absolutely. In a good way. Not Russian collusion, but firearm community collusion, right? But yeah, pull those people to the side. You don't necessarily even have to be political with the collab or anything like that. And it serves a bunch of purposes. It brings us together. It sort of shows that regardless of the cliques and divisions, that there is at least some level of cohesiveness out there. It opens up those pathways of communication, right, for dialogue. And then there was another point in my mind. Oh, the whole cross promotion thing, right? Because that's a great thing. I mean, what if in collaborating with another creator or whatever, you sort of give them exposure too, and that's some things that's been going in my mind about what I could do at NRA. Maybe for some of the smaller channels, or even bigger channels, or even some of these competitors or industry people that are kind of in the public eye and stuff like that, that a lot of the communities out there, people in the community may not know about. So it gives them the collaboration effort, gives them exposure as well. So I think there's a lot of benefits to this whole bridge building theory. And I'll open it up to the panel or the chat or whoever, and I'll shut up for a few minutes.
Well, thanks for explaining it again. I like the concept of, like, people valuing their voices. I've seen a lot of the existing stuff that we've got out there, and there are no superheroes. There's nothing perfect, and it's all organic and changing. So a lot of times people question what their role might be in the whole grand scheme of things, and I'm really digging that idea. Instead of being bridge builders, you are the bridges. If you're, like Clover said, comfortable with more than one group in the firearms community, then you are the glue that holds us all together. All right, so I think that's awesome. So hopefully we'll have more discussions on that. And well, like Clover's talking practically, people can apply that, going to NRA here pretty quick. All right, so we're looking at the main news feed of Gun Channels. We scrolled back to last Saturday morning. So the first feed, basically after our show last week, was Ponnery talking about the Moab was dropped in Afghanistan 2 years earlier when it was 38 years old. So that means the Moab is now 40. It's now a man.
That's a midlife crisis. Should we worry?
I don't know. It's the largest conventional bomb. Is that the deal?
Right.
Giant gas tank basically goes down and sucks all the air out of an area by burning it. Pretty intense. I know it's the biggest something. Probably the biggest bomb we dropped from an airplane. Anyway, so it's
probably
2 years since
It's
we used
the
it.
largest conventional, non-nuclear, I believe.
Okay, so that's what it is, non-nuclear, probably conventional. The new
Yeah,
conventional.
because
It's been a long
It
time
was
without
that
conventional war.
yeah, it was. They're already working on the FOAB, and I think they already have the FOAB. I think I read an article that it's already completed. I don't know if they've tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's already completed.
So if
Is
the
that
Moab
the
is
all bombs?
the Moab is the mother of all bombs, so the FOAB would be the 40 of all bombs.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Angelina, who has a link to this show but didn't join, it started a lobby last Saturday. So this was the first week we were caliber cornerless. So now we have a rounded edges on Saturday. So anybody's welcome. Angelina stepped up and ran a chat that day. Looks like it was off air though, just a direct link to the chat. Another way to do that would be to put a lobby or a room up like we've got on your channel, and then send out a link, and then that's basically what we keep referring to as a lobby. Let's see, you're doing something here about the SB3. Hello, SB4. What's all that about?
They came out with a new brace called the SBA4. It's I think it's an improvement of the SBA3. And so I was just kind of excited about that. Posted a link when I found out about it.
Let's see, then that's when it first was announced or something? Or
Yeah.
about?
Or that's when I first saw it.
Then we got Rick. We were talking about Rick. Were we talking about him off air or on air? Earlier?
off here.
I guess off air. But Rick does a show on Wednesday. He also does one on Saturday afternoons, Rick's Life as I See It. So he's posting a link to that. And then if you would follow that link, you probably watch his show because it's probably his Wednesday show now. Anyway, looks like Cycle Camp posted something about these magazines and then some stuff about some optics.
They sent me one of those magazines. It's pretty funny. It's pretty awesome.
That's the lasers, I'm guessing, zapped on there.
Have you seen the one that they do where Hillary's in prison? They do the bars on the.
Yeah, that's Ordnance. That's Ordnance does that. Our friend in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Just do the little square sections. They do those as bars. That was pretty
that's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like she's holding on to the bars, or behind the bars. So they did something about optics there, I guess, and then got something from them posting about the SOCOM. Was that a live shoot on Facebook, I guess? Yeah, live streaming from Facebook. The 2A workshop. Try to do those every Tuesday and every Saturday. Then Dan was talking about this concept of using the browser on your phone to use YouTube instead of the app. I know we've talked about that a bit throughout the week. Anybody tried this yet? You'll go into your browser on your phone and saying, show me the full browser version, the desktop view, and then go into youtube.com instead of the YouTube app, and then using YouTube as if you were on your desktop.
I tried it when I was in Tulsa on my iPhone. It doesn't work.
What glitched or what did it not work?
When you click the go live button, then it just launched Hangouts, and it just, endless loop of.
Oh, it tries to load the app and not.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That sucks. Let's see. Then we got who's posting this. Daniel posting about this. It's called a Mexican loop holster. You guys ever use holsters like this? Clover has, I'm sure.
Yep.
I can't see the thing. Let me try to get some bandwidth. And
Oh, it's really dark.
oh, yeah, of course. Floodlight, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like them. Basically, that's just one piece of leather. You wrap it around one way to make the pocket or the pouch for the holster part, and then this part flaps around, and then you just cut a couple of slits in it, and it pokes back into itself. So it's kind of practical and kind of cool looking. And then you shove your belt through there. Let's see, Patriots post here about prizes from the EDC challenge. So I guess this is you sending out stuff?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not looking at, but yes.
USMC sticker. It's really cool.
Oh no,
this is
that
that
was
you
who
posted. Somebody
received
else.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see. Then we got Sarge didn't post his show. So I was like, remember when Sarge used to post his show on Gun Channels? He doesn't post his show there anymore. Guns and Gadgets started posting though, so we got rid of Sarge. Now we have Guns and Gadgets. He's been posting his posts. Everybody familiar with Guns and Gadgets out of Pennsylvania? I believe it's Pennsylvania, or is it Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yeah.
I keep saying Pennsylvania. That's why nobody knows what I'm talking about. All right. So, yeah, that's cool that he's been posting stuff. He does a really good job of paying attention to what's happening out there and posting decent videos that aren't super long, right?
He did something today about constitutional carry in Texas getting killed or something.
Got killed again?
That's what he was saying. I don't know if Clover might know some more about it.
So that must have been Saturday, and now you got Sunday, or I guess that was early Sunday, and then you got Gary doing his early bird chat. Thanks for posting or hosting that and posting it on Gun Channels.
You bet.
I think you did that one for quite a few hours. I jumped in after I did some stuff, and you guys were still going. I got there right when you ended it, though. Let's see. Southpaw's asking, anyone using that deep concealment holster, the one that looks like a fanny pack that goes over your junk? For a Glock 1923?
That's the one that's whatever is like the footprints of a Navy SEAL. Is that what the one he's talking about? The urban carry, I think.
Urban carry.
That's the one when you go to retrieve your pistol and you slide the pouch up out of your pants, your pistol goes flying out across the room and then lands in the bad guy's hands.
Yeah, I've got one and I didn't use it.
But that one doesn't look like a fanny pack, though.
Well, it kind of does where it goes over your belt. It's kind of got a wide, I don't know, spot.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, I thought it was supposed to look like a thing for like sunglasses or something like that.
Yeah, or a cell phone. Yeah, or a horizontal cell phone holder or something, maybe. Yeah.
All right, so if that's what you're talking about, then what is that thing called? Deep conceal?
Yep.
Urban carry.
Urban carry. Okay, thanks. Then Taters had a chat, another off-air one. And it looks like Angelina posted a link to their Intentionally Laugh Blank chat podcast that they did on Monday. So that was her posting about it ahead of time on Sunday to let people know. It's a good way to use the feed. I got Rich White did his show on Sunday. Clover's posting for Gun Gals because he's their bitch. Post for him. And then it's about Sleeping Bear. Oh, you were a guest on the Sleeping Bear podcast.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was going to say, that sounds like Bob's opportunity to off a bear. It's sleeping.
Right.
Then we got an interview from Bishops. Posted it here on the main page, it looks like. And Then it was Midnight's chat. Let's see. Muscle Dog was talking about this place called D Live TV. Anybody check that out?
I haven't yet. That works off of, best I can tell, that works off of some kind of, I don't forget what they call it, but some kind of tech, kind of like the whole BitTorrent thing and all work, like peer-to-peer network stuff or some weird something.
It basically has its own, like, let's call them tokens or coins, and you go there and you earn tokens by creating content and by viewing content. And then there's prizes, so they'll give out tokens randomly, and then for participation. And there's this like whole scheme of like systems of like you. And anyway, long story short, you need 200 subscribers before you can even broadcast live. I don't even know how that happens. So they basically have set it up so that unless you bring a substantial audience with you that joins and participates with you, you won't even start going live to be able to participate in all the stuff. And then those 200 people, I guess, can start watching people and creating credits. And yeah, it's this weird scheme type of thing that gets super complicated. I don't understand it, but doesn't seem very user-friendly or appropriate for what we're trying to do. Seems like it's more for, again, giant YouTube channels that have large live audiences that are used to participating and then are looking for ways to, throw out like sweepstakes type of rewards, random rewards to their, like lottery type of rewards to their audiences. I don't know. But, so I did take a look at it, but like I say, it didn't seem, I don't know how we're going to get 200 people over there to subscribe to everybody who wants to go live. And then when you're there, it's very, what are those things, those places called where the girls will do stuff for you live and then you give them money?
Peep show.
The peep, yeah, but there's like a name for those
Thought, THOTs, the thoughts or whatever.
No, but I thought there was a name for that kind of like social media platform. Snapchat is kind of like that. Not Snapchat doesn't give you money anyway. I think it seems like one of those. Like you see a bunch of stuff on the screen and it's all about money. So it's like, how much does it cost or how many credits to? So it's kind of like a vending machine almost. It was weird. So then Dead Horse, you posted this thing about the camo patterns. Anybody else do that one?
I didn't see anyone. You're the only video I saw that did a video response on it. But yeah, several people told me that they did it. And it seemed about right around 9, 10, 11 was about the average score.
So let's see if it'll let me do it again or if it's got me as a cookie on here. So no, I guess not. So which one is this? You guys can see the screen. What camo pattern is this? British DPM, Universal Camo, Woodland, or Swedish M90?
Woodland, isn't it?
Woodland. Is this one Tiger Stripe, Canadian Disruptive Pattern, Multicam, or Marpat? Tiger Stripe, Canadian Disruptive, Multicam, or Marpat? Isn't Ghost in here?
Well, I know two of them probably that aren't right.
That's the Canadian, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Anyone? Tiger Stripe. Come
Is
on.
it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Come on. Well, number one, Canada's not going to have anything that cool. And number two, Tiger Stripe. So what I got this one? Universal Camo Pattern, German Flecktarn, Woodland Digital, or Swiss Alpenflage?
Well, it's definitely digital. It
Anyone
looks
else?
like a digital pattern from I'm on my phones, but it looks like a digital pattern to me.
I could probably enhance a little bit for phoners.
But it wouldn't be a Woodland digital at all because they wouldn't have the.
So we got Universal Camo, German Flecktarn, Woodland Digital, Swiss Alpenflage.
I say it's a German. Looks German to me.
Yeah, the chat is saying German.
It is
I
German.
think
That's
German.
Flecktarn for sure. So not
Told you.
like a spot. Yeah.
All right. So next we're looking at this one. Is this Multicam, Urban Track, Universal Camo, or ERDL pattern?
It's weird because I thought that was like a digi.
Yep. And that's what I said too.
It was like a digital.
That is a digital pattern, but that's not what it's called.
Yeah.
They call it Universal Camo pattern for some reason.
Do they really?
But everybody calls it, it says commonly known as Army Digital. Like Tony was saying, it was Digicam. Like everyone called it digital.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got this one. So first time I've seen this, I think of Huck. He used to wear that thing around all the time. So Swiss Alpenflage or Alpineflage, or maybe it's pronounced Alpenflaggy. Then we got Portuguese Lizard, Red Desert DPM, or Splurtenmuster. Splurtenmuster.
That's Swiss, isn't it?
This
I
is
thought
definitely
that was the Red Desert.
I don't know what Red Desert is. Is that like an Iraqi one or something?
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
it kind of looks like it.
It's Swiss, and you can tell it's Swiss because it got way too many pockets. Like they don't even have that much stuff. So you think of like Swiss parfait or Swiss Army knives. Like, why do you need all that? You don't need
Right.
that pockets.
Right.
It's because they steal stuff. They're pickpockets. All right, now this one, major controversy. Major controversy. Here's the picture. Multicam, British multi-terrain pattern, ERDL pattern, 6-color desert pattern.
It looks like a desert pattern to me.
Well, no.
It's multicam.
No, it's multicam.
It's multicam, but it's not. This is wrong
What do
multicam. But this thing's going to say it's multicam. That's what I thought it was too, because it is kind of look like multicam. But our multicam doesn't have those smears like that. That's a Europe multicam that they license special for like England or someplace. Because multicam is basically like a logarithm. Al Gore made it and gave it to Cry, and then it just creates that patternish weird stuff. They just smeared it, like they stepped on it, and then gave it to Europe, and then it looks a little different.
This looks like a really bad woodland right here.
This one is just interesting. We got Woodland Marpat, ATAX, British DPM, or ERDL pattern. They're really
I'm
trying
gonna
to
go woodland.
Woodland
guess
Marpat?
woodland. Yeah.
Woodland Marpat?
The RDL.
Anyone else?
I'm saying it looks like a really bad woodland to me.
It does kind of have the colors of woodland.
Yeah.
Gizzard, you in on this at all? What's going on with Gizzard?
I wouldn't have a clue.
It looks like
Probably British,
leaves.
though.
Got to
It's
be
probably
ERDL.
British.
Okay, so Woodland Marpat doesn't exist. That's Marpat is Marines, and they don't need woodland shit. They just knock down trees.
It
ATAX,
has woodland.
like muddy clothes. British DPM is what it is because I have a raincoat. That's how I knew this one. And then I don't know what the hell Erdl is, but they keep trying to push Erdl on us. I just knew this one because I have a raincoat in this color. I think it's neat. And
Yeah,
it's
see,
That looks different, but that looks different than the picture.
Woodland.
yeah, it always looks a little different when they have like the type pattern because it never looks right. You know, when you're going around arms and torsos and shit, it always is going to look a bit different.
But having the small, with the little small pieces, see I don't see the little. Well, I guess the black is
see the
small.
black. I don't see the
Can't
black,
hardly
yeah.
see it. Okay, yeah.
So now we get this one, which is either
Okay.
Pat Temperate Woodland, Universal Camo Pattern, Marpat Woodland, or Woodland Digital. Oh, I guess you guys do have Woodland.
That'd be the woodland digital.
No, come on. Didn't you wear this shit?
No, I didn't. I got out before any of the digital stuff came in.
Okay, yeah, this is your shitty digital. You're like, the Marines were like, the Air Force has shitty camo. We want shitty camo. So then you got your own shitty camo. All right, now you got this one.
Ugh.
The fuck is that?
I like this. This is one of my favorites.
You got ATAX Arid Urban, Woodland Desert, 6-color Desert, or Polish Pantera Digital. So, is it a Pantera t-shirt? Is it a 6-color Desert? Is it Woodland Desert? Or is it ATAX Arid Urban?
This looks like a really bad painting.
Polish.
Nope, no Polish. It is ATAX. Welcome to ATAX. ATAX is a really neat camo, invented sort of it was right after multicam. So multicam was running around being dicks with their whole like licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then ATAX came along, was a little bit cooler with it. And
never
it kind of looks like dirty clothes. Like it really does work really well. At least out here. You know, we have a lot of tough stuff because it's tan sometimes, but it's really green a lot. So this works out really well out here.
That is one of the most effective camos for where I live, like out in the desert. That is probably the most effective camo.
Yeah, I like multicam, but it sticks out here. This stuff works better typically. Okay, so now you got this one. So is this Splurtenmorster, Swedish M90, Chinese Type 99, or Denison Smock pattern?
Freak.
It's like a totally
That looks
different
like something
culture,
Chinese. That looks like something Chinese would wear.
doesn't it? Or is it Swedish? Or is it a Splurtenmeister?
If you can't pronounce it, it can't be right, right?
I don't remember if I think I got this one right. Does it? What are you thinking? Anybody else want to chime in on this one? Looks like a painting, like a fine art painting.
An abstract painting or something. I'm going Chinese still.
Yeah, I think it was
But
Swedish.
you're hovering over Swedish, so
I'm pretty sure it's Swedish. Yeah, and that's a tough one because why the hell is she holding an AK if she's Swedish? The fuck. So it drives me nuts on this one.
They're all holding AKs. Yeah, all of them.
Like this guy, he looks like hanging out with Bajork. So that makes sense.
sure.
All right, so now we got this one. We know what Ghost is going to say this one is. So we got Italian, Teleminitico, or we got French, CCE, Sumpenmuster, or ERDL pattern. These are all fake. So
It's
Italian, Mimetico, or
I'm
French,
going Italian.
CCE. Which one?
Italian.
We got one for the Italian. That's a woodland.
Yeah, I said Italian too. So
Got a French, Italian, Sumpenmuster, or Erdl again.
Don't the French just wear white uniforms? They can just take their tops off and wave them around as flags.
It's like bikini. They wear them like white and blue stripes
Right.
that are horizontal. They wear those and really tight pants all the time.
Exactly.
So I don't remember if I think I got this one right. I think this
French,
one
right?
is French.
Yeah, French.
Yeah, French,
Oh,
Center
okay.
Europe. But like you say, it's hard to say because they're constantly whipping out their white T-shirts and waving them around now.
Right.
So next you got this one. This one's, I think, I guessed, but I got this one because it was easy. So that's what it looks like. And then you got South African Soldier 2000,
Okay.
Belgian Jigsaw, Denison Smock, or Portuguese Lizard. To me, I guessed, but the answer jumped out at me and I was right.
Portuguese lizard is interesting.
I would
South
go with the
African
South
soldier.
African soldier.
Belgian Jigsaw, Denison Smock, or Portuguese Lizard. Anyone?
South African Soldier 2000 was a great movie.
So I don't know. I think it's interesting because they went with the tan and but then with the white accents, right? So that makes me think they're definitely going for leaves over shadows, right? So I figured South Africa, that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in Africa. Belgian, I was thinking that seems like something a Belgian would do. And then I don't know what this even means. And what the fuck is Portuguese lizard, right? So I went with Jigsaw, and I think that was what it was. Yeah. So look at they're like not even standing all the same way. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. They're alternating.
But there's a hot chick in their army, so maybe it's not so bad. And then we got this thing, which is already which is a ripoff, because most of the other ones were just patterns. This one's fake, like you're saying. If you just saw this close in, I think it would be more, appropriate for this quiz. But we're seeing it in the size for a shirt, or in the scale for a shirt. Woodland Desert, San Marco, Danish M84, and Mimetico Vegeta. I got this one wrong, so I don't know if I know this one. I know what it isn't.
San
Woodland
Marco.
Desert. Nobody thinks it's Woodland Desert. I don't know what San Marco is.
I don't know either, but it sounds good.
And I never heard of Mimetico. I picked this one and it was wrong. I'm pretty sure.
And it's not Danish.
I'm
No,
going San Marco.
Mimetico? I don't think it's San. I don't think it's San Marco.
San Marco makes me think of like South America, right?
And San Marco. I think San Marco is a bigger pattern. It's not as. It doesn't have the small.
You've heard that before? Okay, so I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Oh, after reevaluating the needs of modern soldiers, the Italian military replaced its older camo patterns with this molded pattern of chocolate brown, russet, and green shapes. Mimetico, which translates to vegetated camouflage, is the current pattern used by both the Italian army and the Aristotle. All right, so then we got this thing, which is on a different color background, which is a different kind of camouflage, so it makes it even more dumb.
Looks like they splattered green paint on a desert camouflage uniform.
And that's the other thing, is by giving you Velcro and these angled pockets and like the Velcro instead of zippers and buttons and stuff. Like that tells you a lot about this, like arm pockets, right? So this tells you a bunch already. I know what it isn't because I picked it wrong. German Desert Flex Mark,
Egyptian.
Ozcam, British Desert. That must be like Austria. Desert, British Desert, or Egyptian Sand.
I'll go with Egyptian sand.
It isn't. That's what I went with, and it ain't.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm almost positive I went with Egyptian, and that wasn't because it seemed like Egyptian. I went too quickly. And
Think of the one country that would put green into a desert cam. Come on, think of the country that would do that, and then
Well,
that's
I'm thinking because of the pocket design and stuff, I would think British.
I'm thinking either British or German, but British likes to put fucking buttons on shit, and there's no buttons on this. But Germany would have like some there's a button, and Germany would have like a complicated like thing on this. And this doesn't look anywhere near complicated enough.
Not British.
It was German Desert Flecktarn. We lost one.
It's where you go with whatever you think first, because with the little splotches on there, it looked German at first.
It did. It does. As soon as you say German Flecktarn, it looks like the other one except tan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got that one wrong twice. And then we got this one, which is super easy, which is this guy right here, not this guy. And then is that U.S. leaf pattern, Polish BZ89 Puma, Russian Brazilka, or frog skin?
it's the best pattern. It's the best camo out of all of them.
I thought this was a Demolition Ranch pattern.
No,
Right.
This is cheap, surplus, Cold War Russian. Also known as Klimek. So that's their kind of cool, shitty version of multicam. So yeah, we did pretty good. We got 14 out of 15, which is better than most people. Looks like you're saying most people got 9 or 10 to 13 maybe.
That, from what I heard, most people were telling me they got 9 to 11. I got 9 when I did it.
And throw this out to here.
That's a pretty cool.
And that was Sportsman's Guide. How cool is that? I can't post it, so you're gonna have to go to Gun Channels and find it yourselves over there. It's too long for stupid YouTube, stupid HTML block. So they have a block of 256 probably, right? So let's keep going. So you can check that out from Monday morning. Dead Horse posted that. Knives posted his lobby. He does it almost every single day out of the goodness of his heart. When you go there and check it out, you can go over to the right over here and buy this thing over at gunpurewebsites.com. Boom, the sticker pack right here. It's $25. And then Angelina makes these stickers out in California, sends them to me. I put them in that bag right there. You pay $25. Normally it's $1,500 on the streets. $20 goes immediately to Mr. Knives. So anybody that wants to help out Mr. Knives, the guy who puts up 1, sometimes 2 chat rooms a day, every single day on Gun Channels, creates a place where people can chat whenever something live happens or something interesting. You can go to Gun Channels, you can talk to live human beings, and that's because of Mr. Knives. I don't pay him a dime. You people pay him when you buy stuff at your websites, and if you do it tonight, you get free patches and opportunity to win that big pile of loot. Actually, there's going to be multiple piles of loot because last time I looked, we had 10 orders today. So let's see. We'll go to Patriot. Posted how American gun culture cultivates civic virtue. This isn't something you posted. This is a repost, a link. I didn't look at this one.
Yeah, it's a link, an article.
A first generation Chinese American immigrant, blah blah blah. Wrote the article, I guess.
Yes.
Right on. So that's kind of stuff that will be posted on the main news feed. Looks like Patriot posted a couple of things here on Monday. Next one was latest news of self-defense with firearms contradicts gun control rhetoric. And then one which is a quote from John Marshall. Who's John Marshall?
That guy.
Why is his name so familiar? What did he do? He was a justice?
Was that the Marshall Plan?
Yeah.
Was that George Marshall?
So unlimited power to tax involves necessarily a power to destroy because there is a limit beyond which no institution and no property can bear taxation. So I guess he must have posted that on tax day. Yes. So then we had Matt's chat on Monday where he talks about nerds things. Angelina and
Geek, not nerd. Geek.
Is there a difference?
Oh yeah.
See, a geek is somebody who bites the head off of a chicken and is like runs around being weird. A nerd,
Geek is all superhero stuff and like that type of thing and fantasy and whatever. A nerd is like all into like the tech and the numbers,
you keep telling
and the
yourself
data.
that, brother. You keep telling yourself that. Whoever gets you through the
I
night,
always
right?
thought a geek was somebody who's like way
I mean,
beyond.
Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, think about it, right?
Mhm.
Revenge of the Nerds. They were all into like computer and numbers and
Booger.
data and stuff, except for Booger, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
Nerds.
that's true though, and they're not like that in the Monday chat. They never talk about nerd stuff. They talk
Yeah.
about.
They weren't into, the Revenge of the Nerds guys weren't all into superhero stuff.
Well, they are nerds talking about geek stuff.
That's true. They nerd out on geek stuff. There you go.
So then Angelina and the crew did the Potentially Left Blank podcast. They do that every other week on Mondays. And Dave's been posting a series on the firearms inventor off of the playing card deck, which is kind of cool. Thanks for doing that. Ellis went live on Monday night. Then Angelina kept that chat going, it looks like, for an off air. And Pants posted something about, what is this, 15 striped all about?
Yep, that's awesome.
Script. Yeah.
Approval 15. Oh, stripped. Duh. Oh, so this is the one that where the selector says no, no, maybe, but no, yes, but really no, instead of safe and do.
I like that.
So, yeah, I'm sure the IETF loves getting harassed with the products they have to deal with, but then they didn't have to pick that as a job, right?
Mhm.
Let's see. Headline: Manchester. Oh, and then I guess we did the Daily Gun Show. Then Manchester local schools voted 4-1 in favor of arming. I'm guessing that's the teachers. Yep, and staff in front of blah blah blah.
Thought
So
maybe it'd be the janitors, but yeah.
Cincinnati, Ohio, Manchester, Ohio. I'm guessing Pants. So yeah. Posted a link here about will Ohio be the 18th constitutional carry state? Yes or no? Over.
I think so. Yeah.
Dead horse.
Yes.
Ghost.
Hope so.
Gizzard.
Yep.
Patriot.
I think so.
I don't think
That's
so.
close to.
Before they can vote on it, we're going to get all the states are just going to say, you know what? We don't need any laws anymore. They're just going to drop all gun laws.
There you go.
That's what I think. But he's got picked up an Arsenal 106 pistol. Had any replacements for handguards? You got a big nothing. So if you want to tell people how to spend money and what to buy, there's your opportunity right there on Gun Channels. You go over there, tell them what to buy. Obnoxious posted about this dry fire training system. I think a bunch of people have checked that out. Do you think they just have, are they personable, or is it something about their
yeah.
setup?
Both.
Okay.
They allow you to they demo it really, really well, or they did the first time that I went to Wanamaker, I went over there and got some video and talked with them and all that. And yeah, very approachable, very good people. Cool, very cool, innovative product. And they demo it really well, and then they let other people play with it, too. And so yeah.
Right on. Then we got Mr. Knives again posting about FPC on Twitter. The California Department of Justice modified the regulations regarding their automated firearm system. Isn't it annoying to have to keep track of what's going on in California? They're seriously wiggling gun owners' nerves like a piece of aluminum, like that tab on top of aluminum can. They're just wiggling our nerves back and forth and back and forth. And it's all we can do to not just snap off and let them win, right? But that's be tenacious, sons of bitches. Patriot posted a thing on some old piece of wood about a bunch of patches, I guess you got from some awesome Patreon thing that you support.
Now actually that was sold to him as a new table from IKEA. So yeah, that's the backstory nobody knows, and they ripped him off. So
if you're getting sick of that old wood box, you can throw some cardboard around it and ship it out here.
Yeah, it's cool. Actually, it didn't have the inside tray. The original tray was missing, so I actually built one, and that was one of the first things I built with my my power saws. But yeah, and the inside it's got a label that I don't know if it was like a paper, but it was painted. So I don't know how they actually put it on there, but it says, you know, the date of 1943.
Nice.
That looks like the old apothecary chest from Friends back in the day. You guys don't watch Friends. You guys would laugh if you watched Friends back in the day.
This is your dad's Foot Locker? Or your grandpa?
My grandfather's.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
No,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I got it. My mom has had it for years, and my grandfather was a commercial fisherman in Lake Huron, and so it had old cork floats and some leader line, you know, just some different netting and stuff that he had that she had kind of smuggled out of the you know, the old homestead. And so it's been in you know, in storage for a long time, and I finally weaseled it out of it. She kept all the stuff that was in it, but I got the box.
So then, I was going to ask, that trade that you rebuilt, did you try it, or were you able to try to rebuild it off of the original pattern, or did you just end up building the trade that fits in there?
I built it out of memory of, you know, the trays that I used. So it probably doesn't match exactly. I didn't slot the sides where you could reach your hands in. I put an extra little block. I could probably take a picture and show you guys, but it's just, you know, and it's not painted or anything. It's just fresh wood.
Yeah, I wouldn't paint it either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for posting the pic there. That's the stuff we sent out. We try to send stuff out every other month or so to Patreons, especially the Patreons that are at the levels keeping the van in the parking lot, and the stuff online. So those were the last April patches I was able to sew out before the machine busted. And glad you got, I put them out there randomly, so it looks like you got one of the April Dracos. I sort of mixed them up. I think there's a picture or two of them out there with all of them together. There was like 8 of them. And then we got those KCI patches from Big Sandy and the Big Sandy sticker and stuff. So really appreciate you posting the picture. It's what it's all about. Let people know what we're doing. And honestly, it helps me out, because next month when I go to send stickers, I'll remember that I already sent you a Poco Ghibli.
Yeah, my daughter tried stealing that, but she did get the button. She does have the chairs against the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll remember.
She collects
into doubles next time for sure.
Oh no, she you know, she collects the buttons. You know, they all look the same to me, but she puts them on hats and all sorts of stuff. So, but she loved the Poco Ghibli. She thought that was hilarious. She's into anime, but I don't know. Maybe she's heard of Poco Ghibli.
And it didn't come out as well as I was hoping. It turned into a circle. I was kind of hoping it would be it's sort of like one of those 70s infographic, I guess. I don't know what to call that, like title screens or something, where it's kind of color shifts and spins. So I was hoping it would be cut out, and it didn't. So what happens when you don't go with Allen Anchor? I just got some cheap stickers from New York, and they came out that way. Anyway, so then Ghost, I guess, did some kind of show on Tuesday, I suppose.
Yeah, it was kind of a.
Did you ever end up? I saw that you linked to the live video. Did you go live also?
I didn't know. Talking Lead was going live from his cell phone, and so I was watching it with him and some other people. But
Did they make the shot?
well, when his battery went dead, he had taken about 20 shots. And the last shot before his battery went dead, he was about 25 yards short of the target, but his windage was right on. He had to go maybe a half a minute up to get it up on, and his phone went dead right before he took the shot. So I don't know if he did or not. I sent Charlie a text, but I haven't heard back from him. But they're literally staying out in the freaking desert, so they have very little. His video was not very good because it's no signal, but it was kind of cool to be out there and all that. But he had taken about 20 shots at the time, And the last one came back that they said that he was 25 yards short, but the windage was right on.
Cool. So how many shots do you say they took?
Well, he was about it was around 20 was the time that the feed cut off.
So Clover, you were asking that question the other day, right? Like how many shots does this entail? So what do you think? Is 20 fair, legit, or is that just shooting all day?
I don't know. I mean, I would. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, 20. That's a box of ammunition, basically, right?
Yeah. I think they said when he hit the 5,000 yard a couple of years ago, it took him 26 shots.
Right.
And the wind was blowing a consistent 5 to 7, but it had gusts up to 20. So you can only imagine a 3.5 mile shot, what a little bit of wind does. So
a number of different crosswinds you're dealing with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man.
Because at 3.5 miles, it could be blowing in an opposite direction to the target than it is where he's taking the shot as well. They had spotters sporadically throughout the thing, and there was one shot that was pretty cool. They were sitting behind a berm, and that they're on the radio. They're saying, "All right, going live." So, all right, they said, "Well, let us know when you're out of the way," because they're marking and measuring and all that stuff for him. And he hits one, and all of a sudden you hear a ceasefire, ceasefire, and one of them hit 10 feet from where they were standing.
Wow.
And
so it looks like there's some coordination involved, and then I imagine it has to be walked in. There's no way you're just going to, like you say, there's just so many variables. So yeah. I'm guessing, let's say what is the record now? 5,500 feet or something?
He was shooting right now it's 6,100. He was shooting
whatever the existing one is now. If it took the guy 20 shots to get the existing record, if somebody hit one at that same distance but did it in 10 shots, do you think that they would beat that record technically?
I mean, technically, I mean, you could argue that easily.
The problem with long-range shooting is that there's no official standard and guidelines. So one organization doesn't recognize another organization's record attempt or achievement.
Okay.
And Tubbs Precision is trying to change that by actually, setting a standard, saying, hey, you have to do this, accomplish this. You have this many minutes, this many shots. So they're really working hard right now because I'm in long range shooting, right? So I kind of know about this. So Tubbs is working really hard right now to make a worldwide standard, basically, that you have to do it like this to actually hold a record. And if you don't do it like this, then your record doesn't count. Because right now there's just too much of a jumble and too many people saying, oh, well, that's not an official record. Yours didn't count because you took 20 shots instead of 10. Or you took longer than 10 minutes, or, you took 2 hours to sit out there and shoot. So there's so much back and forth that there's no real official, I hold this record. There really isn't that right now.
I tell you what was interesting was it took 21 seconds from the time it was fired till it reached the target.
Wow, because that's
21 seconds.
That's crazy. We were thinking like 17 or 13 or something, I think.
Yeah. We were guessing earlier, and so so finally, some of the guy took his watch off and put it right in front of the phone, and as soon as a shot went off, they started the stopwatch, and it was averaging about 21 seconds. That's just nuts.
What's scary is that proves that it's a flat Earth.
Oh,
We'll have to talk about that in a different chat. So. Let's see. Then we got Night Strike does this hit or miss show. It's one of the longest lasting shows on the internet. Every Tuesday. Looks like Honda posted something about the deal in Colorado where his kids were locked down this week with that whole thing going on. Dead horse. Watching some guy doing sling techniques in his pajamas.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty. Usually, I would probably skip a video like that, but I'm glad I gave it a chance because it was actually pretty informative. But it's unusual to be learning techniques like that from a guy in pajamas, I'd say.
With sunglasses on,
Yeah.
And let's see. Then when but more about Colorado. Then we got Guns and Gadgets posting some more videos.
Dang. He went kind of crazy, didn't
he? Yeah, posted a bunch.
He went Travis P11.
Right.
And we got Flip B posting a funny shirt. Dead Horse posting about a
Just a deal.
deal. So what about
An arm.
we got Hana added a new picture. Got Knives posting this thing about public records. This is kind of interesting. Anybody look at this one?
No.
So, all right. So California, crazy world, right? Basically, University of California researchers found themselves in a situation where a team studying the impact of lead poisoning on the endangered condors received a request for emails exchanged between members of the research group over a 5-year period. So people were like, okay, you've decided that lead impacts the California condor. Let's take a look at all your emails over the last 5 years. Specifically, the California Rifle and Pistol Association Foundation wanted to see, what is this? Rifle and Pistol Association Foundation. That's weird. Is that really what it's called? I don't think it is. But anyway, wanted to see all the correspondence that contained the word lead in combination with words like condor, bullet, and blood. They previously enacted a partial ban on the use of blah, blah, blah. And anyway, so basically, these people spent hours pulling together the records and ultimately, backed by the university, contested the request in court. They are not alone in their experience over the past decade, everything from climate to biotech, animal agriculture to safety of abortions performed by nurse practitioners and midwives have been subject to public record requests made by groups critical of their work. So basically, people are like, hey, let's see some of these emails, and let's see, since you're doing this all on the public dime or whatever, let's see what you're actually corresponding to each other. If there's stuff in there that you're saying to each other that you're skewing results, perhaps, or what, if you've already decided what the results are going to be before you even start this project, let's take a look at some of that. And they didn't like that. So basically, they're trying to change the law that says you can't petition public records for emails. And even though that was enacted in 1968 to foster government transparency and accountability. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting article. Thanks, Knives, for posting that. Patriots' new campaign is to focus on liberty. And now that's a gun issue that's poking at some state education systems, and they're basically expecting the law to be changed to give them a place to hide and a place to on the public dime do nefarious shit. So bravo for pointing at that one, guys. It's not always gun stuff here, right, that we have to be aware of, unfortunately. Another one from Guns and Gadgets doing his thing. Artisan Tony letting everybody know that Red Dawn is over on Amazon Prime right now. So if you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch Red Dawn, the real one, the good one. Rick's Life as I See It. We talked about Rick before. He posted his Wednesday show. I'm guessing Patriot was in there. I think I watched that one for a little while.
Yes.
The new member signed up. He has a question. I asked him what his question was. He never asked the question. So if you have a question out there, let us know. Gary posted his video over on the Gun Streamer for Battle Horse Knives. Right there, nothing.
My husband and my brother-in-law both make them. It's a family-owned and operated business. My mom makes our leather sheaths. I guess our signature thing would be our comfortable hand.
Is that Mr. Wright in the background? No, it's not. Okay.
Hour in your hand. If you chip it, break it, need it.
This guy here?
The one that was in that green
wearing a
shirt.
vest, it must be Dano.
The one wearing the green shirt there for a second. Kind of looked like Mr. Wright. But
So another Gary video. He's sleeping. He's not talking about it. But be sure you give him a thumb up.
hey, there's a Gun Channels card on the table. You see that?
Look at that.
I'm not
There.
sleeping.
Look at there.
Gun Channel's product placement.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we had another Daily Gun Show. We talked about the April stuff going out and talking about strip blowers, I guess, are in stock. And a new member
Don't be fair.
asking about how to jump into chats. Let's see. Then you got Knives doing another lobby. Got Rupan posting a little quick funny video.
Hey man, are you lagging? Yeah, I have pretty high.
Nerd. joke. Only nerds get that one. You have to be a gun nerd and a computer nerd. You get that one? There's Travis, pimping O-Lights.
In the pocket of big O-Light.
You know what's sad is he started pimping this O-Light, and then Danos over there like a drug addict, like doing all these like elaborate scams and passing money on PayPal and all these code words and stuff. So I don't know what Dano's doing, but there's now, I feel like I straw purchased a bunch of lights for Dano. The Doolittle raid, what's going on with that? Not where
it was the anniversary of the Doolittle raid.
This is when we decided to go kick the shit out of Tokyo just to give him a kick in the nuts real quick.
Yep.
And
basically
it was really the turning point. It really was.
We launched a bunch of heavy bombers off of aircraft carriers, which is unprecedented. And those guys launched the shit or bombed the shit out of Tokyo and then ran those bombers out of gas into China. Right?
Yep.
Hardcore motherfuckers. There's a movie about it.
And the very last Doolittle Raider who was buried on April 18th this year, just a couple days ago. So
really,
yeah. So he died a couple days before the anniversary, and he was buried on April 18th on the anniversary. So I thought that was pretty neat and fitting. The last one was buried on the anniversary.
Then we've got Patriot showing off his AK Pro stuff to the non-AK Pros out there. The AK Pro list among us.
But yeah, you got to check out that video too, though, because that's actually tying into those.
Minutes. I got 6 minutes. I'm thumbing through it here. It's just a bunch of the same. You're saying stuff. We got to listen to it for 6 minutes.
Yeah, you can check it out later. It's on my channel.
We'll let people scroll.
It's about those visually impaired guys.
So then we got Dead Horse posting about a long range class. Everybody's into long range this year.
Yeah, anyone around the Utah area, if you want to learn how to shoot long range, come over here and take a look at the info I posted about the class. Check it out.
Cool, and definitely that would be one of the cooler places in the country to go shoot long range, I think. Certainly in Salt Lake City. So Guns and Gadgets, again, it's awesome, posting a bunch of these videos. Encourage people to check him out. He does great work and consistently. That's what it's all about.
Just curious, where's he posting from?
YouTube, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube, unfortunately. But hey, everybody's got to get introduced to Gunstreamer at some point. He does post on Gunstreamer, but whatever. Right. Everybody's got their own strategies. Maybe he's trying to post, boost up his YouTube numbers or something.
Yeah, kind of spread it around. You never know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to have him on a chat sometime and talk about strategy. See if because some people are doing stuff with intent, and it's always fun to hear their strategies, right? Especially with their experiences. Maybe they can learn us all something new. And then if they're doing it randomly, then yeah, if we can give them a little direction, then that'd be awesome. Make everybody stronger. Caliber Corners on Thursdays now. Thursdays are definitely the night to be watching live stuff on the gun channels.
Must see TV.
Another Patriot here. They define a republic to be a government of laws and not of men. John Adams, 1775. Let's see. Grandman was saying, I'm wondering where our freedoms are going. I voted since 1971 and never had to show government ID until about 5 years ago. I just went to get my driver's license renewed and had a choice to get a regular license or a federal driver's license, which would allow me to fly in commercial airlines. Show me your papers becoming the norm. Maybe I'm out of touch. I'm in Arizona, so our driver's licenses are 34 years. I don't have to get a driver's license till 2030 something, I think. So I didn't know that there's a new federal level driver's license.
I think that's for specific states because the federal doesn't recognize their regular state driver's license.
I think
So
that's
for that state, you have to get a federal because I just barely got mine renewed and they didn't say anything about a federal at all to me.
Yeah, it's an enhanced license because otherwise you're going to have a passport to fly in the continental U.S.
Is that like the
after a certain time? Yeah.
That's only if the government doesn't recognize your state, right?
I don't think so. I thought it was something that they were trying to pass across the board, but it came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the states have to meet a certain federal requirement, and then they recognize your driver's license. But if they don't meet that requirement, that's where these special licenses or passports and crap come in, from my understanding.
Well, living in Michigan, you're right on the border with those crazy Canadians. So, if you cross over, you have to have an enhanced or your passport.
You know, have you guys ever in Michigan ever thought about, instead of being such a welcoming kind of a wave to Canada, you made it more of a fist? We kind of threaten them to stay away from us.
All the time. They don't listen to me, though.
Take some bulldozers, push that thumb over, so it looks more like a fist. All right, so then we got a bunch of the rubber samples put them together. We're missing one there, but you can see what all the other ones look like. And we're pretty much on schedule, maybe off by a little bit. So we'll kind of see how fast shipping happens. It's always, I guess, especially when a large order. I think this is one of our largest orders, probably the largest order. Anyway, threw out some images there. Got the last approval and everything. So I guess we can look at it here. I think they all pretty much came out pretty neat. Nice and colorful. And yeah, very cool. So the one thing this picture doesn't do is offer any kind of scale or anything. These are not the right, I mean, they're not in proportion to each other. Every second, they're not all smaller than the Every Second Matters patch, that's for sure. So I have no idea. I wish they would send them to me on like grids or something so I could try to put them together, but that'll be interesting to see once we get them all together, you know, how big they all are. It's all been images and, you know, pictures so far.
You could resize them with Photoshop because you know kind of know the dimensions already. So.
Well, but I took the images of the kind of side view to show the dimensions of them because that looks cooler than just, they look like images. Otherwise, if look like drawings or something, if you just look straight down at them. So because of that, like I say, if they were on a grid, yeah, I could line up all the grids the same, but whatever. So yeah, it'll be a little surprise to see. Oh, did I just close everything? Yeah, I just closed everything. It'll be a bit of a surprise to see, like I say, which ones are bigger, smaller, or whatever. That was not too long ago, so we're right there. Wrapping up the week with here we go. Wrapping up the week with Matt, or I guess we were on Shooting Left to Center with Yankee yesterday, and then Obnoxious had a show. So there was Caliber Corner, Yankee, Obnoxious, and then Dano's out here fiending for O-lights. Anybody can buy me O-lights. I need more addresses. And then you guys had a show right here talking about traveling as a creator. We were talking about the NRA article on Yankee show, and I don't know if anybody had a chance to read that really long article yet. Mm-hmm. Anybody besides Clover?
Yeah, I've read that, and then several other ones that were spinoffs, which were worth your time.
Yeah, it's definitely worth reading. There's a lot of kind of insight to NRA history and how the antis view our history, because we view it differently than they do. And there's certainly a lot of it is 130-year-old organization or something, 150-year-old organization.
Right.
Then we got Honda posting a response to Adam's video. A couple of new members.
Oh, Blitzkrieg comes right over, didn't he? That's cool.
Yeah, that was last night. Pawnery posting a thing about the New Mexico militia holding people at gunpoint. We got Knives opening up a chat. Bowling posting this picture of Colt. I guess just a plain old Colt, just with a bunch of tan furniture on it. I was thinking it was that 801 or whatever, but it's not. I don't think. And then Budget posting this Gun Channels challenge, I guess he's calling it. So he's getting sick of Ghost and his drill of the month. So he's corking the drill of the month with the cardboard Gun Channels challenge.
What it's about, though, more people shooting.
Getting people up there to shoot's all that matters.
And then this. Did anybody watch this? This is SpaceX launching a satellite for the Arabs. Anybody watch this? Super neat. So it's a 56 minutes overall. At 20 minutes or so, right around here somewhere. Oh, T-14, duh. So, right, 9 seconds later, they're going to launch this bad daddy. it looks like whatever those ones were back in the day, right? It's got 2 external tanks, 1 main tank or whatever. So here it goes. So liftoff, right? T plus 5 seconds. I'm going to fast forward to 1 minute, 40 something seconds, right? So it's still rocking and rolling with all of its external tanks and stuff. 2 minutes. Looks like something's going on. Boom, there goes the external tanks, right? 2 minutes, 39 seconds. This thing's flying at like speed of sound. How fast are these things going? It's going 6,000 miles an hour.
Wow.
Kilometers an hour. So there's no way to know how fast that really is. But it's at 6,800 miles. 69 miles? It's 69 kilometers. Why are they fucking doing shit in metric? Fucking
Hey, look,
assholes.
Look, the Earth's flat.
Yeah, look, now they're up at the top of the flat Earth. And then here's the best freaking part. Watch this. You ever seen this stuff? So here's the thing doing its thing. You ever seen this, though? Have you ever freaking seen this? These are the booster rockets. These are the cameras from the booster rockets.
Yeah.
This is not Star Trek. This is happening earlier today. The booster rockets came down and landed like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah,
Oh.
what's it called? Tesla did put the car up there. They used the rockets to come back on GPS and landed. Also, it's pretty awesome.
Look at that. Yeah, so the booster rockets just let go of the freaking main thing, dropped back down 69 miles or whatever the fuck kilometers, and landed on these 2 little pads right next to where the fucker took off. And then they killed the video because it's fake. But they acted like this third one dropped onto this. This is a drone barge. So this is a robot barge in the middle of the ocean. They dropped the 3rd engine core down on that fucker. So how fucking badass is that? They say it's the first time they were able to reclaim all 3 of their launch rockets or whatever. And that one was a fucking drone boat in the middle of the fucking Atlantic Ocean.
That's awesome.
Fucking cool is that? So we got robots jumping up into space, dropping their fucking garbage back down on Earth for us to refill for them, and then drop their other stuff onto drone boats in the ocean. Anyway, so that's 31 minutes into this airplane, or in this rocket flight. Then they get 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Then they shoot this rocket off. Big deal. And that rocket shooting off right there, they said had more thrust than the one that took them off the Earth.
Wow.
Or at least it had the same effect as more effect than the one launching off the Earth. And then at this point, they dropped that fucker off. So that's some Arab nuclear, death ray. 34 minutes after they launched off. So this fucker launches off from Florida. 34 minutes later, it's over Arab countries dropping off their nuclear payloads into space. And then this fucker drops back to Earth after a little while. So it takes us 34 minutes to drop nuclear payloads for Arabs in space nowadays.
Wow.
That was a neat video. So Dano posted that. Yeah, I thought that was neat as hell. I just started watching it because it was neat to see a capitalist rocket launch. I had no idea we had these like crazy backwards. That looks like a cartoon or some movie, doesn't it?
It looks like you reversed the film.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I mean?
looks like you took 2 missiles and watched them shoot off backwards. You filmed it back. You ran the film backwards, and they just fucking land ass down into the fucking tarmac without any humans around. Like they're just doing it like they got nothing else to do. Now some robot can come up and refill.
Right.
Fucking bastards. All right, so next, NRA and GOA ain't doing as much as this. So the law, what is this? The NRA and GOA ain't doing as much as this. The law specifically states in carrying out the CMP, Civilian Marksmanship Program, the corporation shall give priority to activities that benefit firearm safety training and competition for youth. So 20 million CMP Talladega Marksmanship Park holds dedication ceremony. I guess the CMP did something, and Blue Steel is saying the NRA doesn't do that much, and the GOA ain't doing this much. I do, however, condone joining both. Right on. Yeah, I guess that's true. The NRA, we know, isn't spending even 10% of their income on the core, goals of the organization, such as safety training competition for youth that reach as many participants as possible, right? So CMP is stepping up. CMP's been around since like 1908, whenever they invented the National Reserves, or the Guard, I guess. The Guard came around in 08. Right. 03. Whenever the Springfield happened, that's when they created the CMP and the National Guard. So that's a cool thing to post. This is going to, let's see where that's going. Oh, Alabama. So I guess because it's in Talladega, Alabama's talking about it. So dedication for the Talladega Marksmanship Park. So that sounds like a cool place to go visit. $20 million project that offers shooting enthusiasts a place to sharpen their skills with rifles, pistols, and shotguns. See if we get a picture. Wow, it looks just like a Home Depot, like tool area.
Right.
Huh. Then there's a bunch of Soldier Fortune magazines. I guess somebody's got a cookie on this browser. Caught me. We're looking at Soldier Fortune magazine. Okay, so then we got Budget posting his show tonight. This was only just 7 hours ago. Followed closely by Gary's Friday night frolic. Is that what it's called? What happened on the show tonight? Anything good?
Actually, that's my Wanamaker video I posted earlier in the day. But...
Oh, Doe, this is your Kenzie Optics. I like this one, actually. It's like 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, 40 seconds or something?
He's fast. Yeah, he didn't talk long.
1 minute, but it got right down to it.
On day 2 of where they're going. Yeah, so we're just set up here selling a bunch of optics. We carry Trijicons, got a bunch of thermals, all sorts of different battle sights, full line of Vortex, really any optics you need. We've been having an awesome show. It's been pretty awesome out here. It's slow right now, but be sure to also go to our website to check out. It's kinsiesoptics.com. We got a code on there for 10%. It's KZ10. All right. Thank you, sir.
Dude, imagine if Gary was whipping through Wanamaker doing minute-and-a-half videos like that. That'd be cool as shit. They could have like a whole section of their website, like a freaking virtual tour of the show. I like that. This is just a picture of their card then?
Yeah, I've been doing that on all my videos. Right after I get done with the video, I do about 4 seconds of just their cards. So.
Yeah, right on. And that gives exactly what they want, as far as their contact info.
Yep, everybody can see their cards.
All right, then we got Dead Horse buying his garbage China metal safe. So
I didn't say I didn't buy it. I just asked stocks.
All right. So what's the kind of advice you're getting here? Talking 100% with my ass, but I don't know if trust these digital locks. Oh, interesting. That would crap out on me with no luck. But then what? Give the 5-inch wheel of death out. Usually, like, have a skeleton. No, that's not true, Patriot. They don't also have a skeleton style key. Sometimes they have a key, but that key is typically like not to bypass the code or the tumblers, but to leave it on the last number and then use the key. So instead of you have to leave the lock, the combination lock open, and then you can use the key. But as soon as you spin the combo lock, the key will not bypass it. Does that make sense? It's designed for like somebody who's going in and out of their safe. So like you spin it open in the morning, and then you just don't want the casual whatever like gravity to open the door. So you use the key to keep it open and close kind of during the day, but then at night you'd spin the lock again.
Okay, because I thought he was talking about electronic lock. Like mine's electronic. The battery goes dead or the board goes out like it has 7 times. I just pop the top off and there's a keyhole and I open it up that way.
Interesting. I haven't seen that style then.
Yeah, he just said electronic, and so that's why it's like mine. You can pull the face off, and right behind it there's a keyhole, and that's a big long, skeleton key, and it just.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how that one is too. You can take off the digital lock, and then it just has a key there.
All right. Well, then I'm super scared because that means anybody can pick that thing open. Because if that skeleton key bypasses anything, then anybody who knows what they're doing is going to know that those safes do that. That's got to be as insecure as I can.
Yeah. And plus the sides are super thin, and they can just use a can opener.
Seriously, these things are basically stop signs that are about a ½ inch apart, and then they fill it with plaster of Paris, and that's bad because although they put it in there as flame retardant or whatever, it is rust. It'll rust the metal, and it's just they waste and they seem they say they have moisture and they hold moisture, so they just kind of get gross in there. but they they're made to look secure and have mass, but they're not very effective. If you're worried about somebody actually busting through the wall of it, 99% of people are just putting it in there to have a secure locker. In which case, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of spending all the time and effort to buy a big China one. Buy a big Snap-on locker, and you get the same thing for like a third of the price. But if you're really looking for the fire protection and then I say buy Salt Lake City. So I like Fort Knox, but Liberty is there also.
Yeah, I've got a Snap-on
Across the street.
cabinet. They work, for what they are. They're fine.
But it's always a debate. Like I say, most of the time safes are just there to stop a teenager or some casual person who just happens to be in your house or something from coming back. But real criminals look at these things like, gift boxes. They either take them or they just open them right up. Anyway, so
and plus that's.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and plus that's where you throw all your stuff, so they know just one place to go.
Yeah, that's another thing. So some people are against safes because you are basically taking everything you got that's valuable and throwing it in one spot, so they know exactly, once they find it, they know exactly what's in there. Or they know that all your good stuff is in there. So what's the deal? You're looking at for the place that I'm aware of, or for someplace else, or this is a pretty big one?
Yeah, for my gun room to replace all, because right now I have 3 gun safes and a rifle rack, and I'm guns laying everywhere, right? Like I need more storage capacity, but can't spend an arm and a leg either,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yours is a little different situation because yours is inside 2 layers of security, and this would be like a third redundancy. So that's a little different.
Yep.
I would talk to David Bowling, Kingpin, about he redid a closet, reinforced everything and made basically just kind of a room safe that is a lot more secure than one of those little cabinets.
I'm a big fan of that. Plus, it's cool as hell.
And they sell, most of your safe companies, they sell safe doors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather spend that amount on them.
The Friday Frolics, the link to that show. So what happened on that show? Anything good?
Mostly for the first half hour, we talked about red flag laws.
Oh, Sarge was on there?
Nope. He wasn't. It was Patriot's idea, but it turned into a major discussion.
Something new, or just to talk about him from a different angle?
Well, it took it. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's your idea. You sell it, man.
It was just the difference with this anonymity, whatever that nice big long word is, online as far as being anonymous. Once these red flag laws pop up, if there's a threat of somebody finding somebody's real name and doing whatever, causing trouble that way, if it's best to stay anonymous, or what, if that's a real worry.
I think that
I know some people don't think those laws will do anything, but then I think they're being hopeful.
From my personal experience, if you are online whatsoever, it doesn't matter if it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it doesn't matter what fake name you use, there is no such thing as anonymous, especially when it comes to law enforcement. So if you say a threat or a dangerous thing, or say I'm going to kill myself or kill someone else, it doesn't matter what name is on that account, Dead Horse Dad or whatever, they'll be at your house within 20 minutes, the local police. We know this from personal experience, that there is no anonymous stuff anymore. So even if you use a fake name, if someone reports you to the police for thinking that you're dangerous or something, that doesn't matter. Like, it's not even a thing. There is no more anonymity.
No, there never was. In fact, it was even worse before. When you signed on to other services that I used to be involved with, you signed in the dotted lines in the TOS that if you do weird things, we will persecute you. We will come to your house. We know where your computer is because the internet tells us where, we knew what apartment you were in sometimes. Because the internet knows where all that stuff is. So,
I just meant for the...
Go ahead.
with the people out there that, you know, the crazies. I mean, if you know, you notice that somebody even in your neighborhood or whatever, you know, if they just come across something, you know, if they feel there's a fear or something, you know, I don't know. It was just an idea because I was trying to connect them both or whatever. Because obviously I have reasons why I don't, you know, put my name out there besides people that I actually know or whatever. Because I have a daughter. And if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have an issue with it. But there are crazies out there.
Speaking of crazy, somebody posted something about a surprise mail call, and looks like a bunch of ramen or something in here. Oh, he sent you like a half-eaten bag of chips or something? What's in here?
No, Patriot
there was-
double trolled us.
Yeah, well, what it was is last Wednesday after Rick's Shooting with Disabilities chat, David Kingpin Bowling told Squibb to do a video on these unboxings that people do and take forever with the wrapping and make all this noise and obnoxiousness and just terrible,
so
you know.
So it's a parody video. I got you.
But I did get 2 mail calls, one from him and one from Pancakes, and they were both really, really nice, outstanding mail calls. But that first portion was just to mess with him.
Right on. So then we got our post for the 800th episode of this show. So that's what happened in Gun Channels this last week. I'm going to try to start doing on Fridays for this show so that we can keep track of what's happening. Gun Channels is all about the conversation. So we're going to wrap it up. I guess I can't wrap it up. We got to do Free Patch Friday stuff. So thanks to all people that support our projects and what we're doing online with the purchases over at the store. I guess I can screen capture and put up a random. How am I going to do this? I guess I didn't come up with a procedure. So we posted a video earlier of a bunch of stuff that we put into this room today. Yeah, that we're put together into a envelope, and it's a bunch of things that we've collected over the years on the tour. Brochures, some magazines, then some patches and stickers and business cards from gun shops and I guess people at gun shows and then firearms museums. Some neat stuff like a knife from Gallutson's, a cool shop in Salt Lake City. A little tiny flippy voodoo doll in here, a little 1-inch tall flippy doll. So a lot of people have been asking for those. Got a couple of postcards that from the places. And we offered this package to someone randomly tonight who purchased something over on the Gear website store for Free Patch Friday. And I guess I can go to random and set up here. Anybody have any shows going on over the weekend?
I got mine on Sunday morning. My early bird, Chad.
Yes, tomorrow Rick has his 3 p.m. Rick's Life as I See It. I don't know which of Obnoxious or his brother Sarge who's having their show after that.
Who was Thursday?
Obnoxious.
So it'll be Sarge on Saturday?
Yep.
All right, it looks like we've got 12. So we'll hit 12 over here. And I don't know, should we do drum roll? What am I missing? I feel like if I just hit the button, that's not enough lead up. What gun laws should there be on Mars? Interesting question. None. We own Mars and we have no gun laws, so none. Second Amendment applies to Mars.
Maritime law applies to Mars, so technically the first person who lands on Mars will be able to make all the gun laws. So we need to make sure a pro-gun person is the one who lands on Mars first.
I think Marvin the Martian actually had a space modulator, so I don't think there's a real issue with that.
All right, well, I guess we'll just hit the button. There's nothing else to be saying anything out there. I don't know how many people are out there that have actually bought something. I think Woods did.
Spin that wheel.
Boom. 4. Okay, well, I guess now I have to. Nobody has seen the order or anything. Ghost hasn't said nothing, so to prove that he's still with us, top or bottom? Should I count from the top or from the bottom of the list?
Let's go top.
I think he said top, so I'm going to go from 1, 2, 3, 4. This is someone who, I'm double checking, has purchased from the store. This is the 5th order. This is someone who I believe you all met in Tulsa. And does anybody know who it is yet?
Jim Burke.
Oh, that's pretty good. How the hell did you know that?
Clairvoyant.
Am I screen sharing or something? Shit. So, yeah. There you go. So Jim.
Well, we didn't have it. There wasn't a whole lot. Could have been him, Snob. There wasn't too many options. So
I don't know if he's out there.
3 of us in here, or 2 of us in here.
Flath is out there. Hey, Flath. OG Gun Channels. So I don't know if Jim's out there or not. But if anybody.
Probably not. He's an old.
Maybe. But we did get, what did I say, 12. So I'm going to hit this button again because I'll make up another one because that's a lot of response. We appreciate it. So I'm going to hit first I'm going to ask Dead Horse, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay, and now I'll hit the generate button. 3 from the bottom. Boom. So this would have been not someone who ordered Thursday, because that would have been the bottom one. If someone did order Thursday, we always count Thursdays into these. That gave me enough time to chat. So, 2, 3. This looks like it is someone's 13th order.
Wow.
Holy. Grab the deck of identification cards. Very cool. Someone who is of the Travis order.
Oh.
I don't know if everybody knows who that one is. And let's see if he's out here. I don't think he is. I think he hangs out in the chats very often.
Travis T.
Yep.
Double T. Yeah.
Is he out here?
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him.
I also don't have any idea if either one of these people already get Gun Show Loophole stuff or not. But anyway, I'll contact them both via the store and say thanks to everyone who purchased today. Let's go look over here. We're paying taxes and paying bills and stuff, so it's always appreciated. And I guess we're
There's
done.
Travis T. He just came in the chat.
Right on. So yeah, you've got the second of the 2 loot packs that I didn't do a video on it or nothing, but it'll be similar to that first one. I am running out of stuff. This time I remembered I'd never done this before, but I was going through kind of sorting stuff, and I kind of realized I had never saved a copy of all the brochures and maps and stuff for myself. So I went through and pulled one of each of everything, like the brochures for the 45th Infantry Division Museum. I passed all those out before I even got one. Like I didn't keep one for myself. So there's some things like, up north where I'm not going to probably get to again anytime soon. So that's kind of annoying. I didn't even think about it. I just passed it all out. So I did keep a copy of all the stuff from this last tour. And then everything that's left, will be continued to go out. And like I mentioned in that long 20-minute video, that's sort of what we're doing here. We're not trying to entertain anybody. We're certainly not trying to encourage you to go buy or acquire. There's plenty of people encouraging you to buy more stuff and acquire things and worry about, the kit. I like to focus on the other stuff that you can get into with firearms and, all the different facets of it and the other ends. So I appreciate the people that allow me to do that and focus on the other things, including activism. And whatever, we're done. So anybody else want to say anything before we head out?
No, there was your number 800.
Yeah, 800 shows. So appreciate everybody who sticks around for these. I wonder if anybody's been, how would anyone know, how would we figure out who's been around for the most shows? It's technically possible. If we had a smart enough brain or the ability to shove a robot at it, wouldn't they be able to go back and look at every show and look at the comments?
Oh yeah, probably.
My guess is you've been to most of them.
Yeah, I've probably only missed a few. All right, well, that's 800. Big deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it. Everybody else will do it at some point. Just a matter of time. So we'll see y'all next time.